Good morning, students. Once you have to revise the syllabus of the data warehousing and data mining. So far, what are the concepts you have to cover? So here, once you have to see what are the concepts covered in Unit 1 and what are the concepts you have to cover in Unit 2. So here,
Hi.
so, good morning to one and all. So now in today's class, we have to discuss with that what are the concepts you have to cover so far in previous classes. That is the first unit and second unit. Once we have to see the syllabus, what are the subjects are not, what are the concepts are not covered. See here in the first unit, mainly we have to discuss with that why data mining, what is the data mining, what kinds of data can be mined, what kinds of patterns can be mined, which technologies you have to use, what are the which of kinds of applications are targeted, major issues, and data objects and attribute types, basic statistical descriptions of data, data visualization, measuring the data similarity and dissimilarity. So these all concepts you have to complete it in last class. In previous classes you have to complete it. The similar way you can discuss with that data pre-processing techniques. That is what are the tasks we have to perform on data pre-processing. So mainly we have to perform the 4 tasks. We have to performing the data pre-processing, data cleaning, data integration, data reduction, data transformation, discretization. So these are all concepts. In each concept, each task we have to do in sub task. So the tasks, all tasks are we have to discuss today in previous classes. Okay. Here in the first unit completely we have to discuss with that what are the basic concepts of data mining and what are the technologies, what are the patterns you have to use, what are the issues, and what type of attributes you have to use. These all things you have to discuss in the unit 1. So here data pre-processing. So before the data you have to arrange it into the consistent data. So here you can perform the data pre-processing. So whatever the data you have to collected from the various resources, those all data in the form of inconsistent. So that in inconsistent data, we have to convert it into consistent data by using the data pre-processing one. In the data pre-processing, you have to using the 4 tasks, that is the data cleaning, data integration, data reduction, and data transformation and discretization. So this is regarding to these are the 4 tasks we have to use it to clean to integrate data cleaning, integrate, reduction, transformation. These all tasks we have to perform on data pre-processing. So when the consistent data is converted, then this data you have to arrange it into the data warehouse. So in data warehouse, mainly the data we have to arrange it into the multi-dimensional cubes. That is a 0-dimensional cuboid, 1-dimensional cuboid. Already in last class, we will show that diagram. It shows 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional cubes. So here, this is the after inconsistent data, you have to convert it into consistent data. That data you have to arrange it into the data warehouse in the form of multi-dimensional cubes. Okay. So here in the multi-dimensional cubes, already you have to represent that 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional. So far in last class we have to discuss. And once you have to arrange it, the data in multi-dimensional cubes, then you can process the OLAP operations. Roll up, slice down. So these are very important in external point of view, that is the data warehouse. So once the whatever the consistent data is arranged into the multi-dimensional cubes, this multi-dimensional cube, you have to use the OLAP operations. So that is the slicing, roll up. By using these all operations, we can what you required, that information you have to retrieve by using this that is the OLAP operations. Okay. Before discussing about that third unit, once again you have to revise the data warehouse. After the first unit completely, we have to discuss with that basic concepts of data mining. And the second unit, we have to discuss with that data pre-processing. Before we have to converting the consistent data, we have to do this data pre-processing. Why? Because the inconsistent data you have to convert it into consistent data. This consistent data you have to arrange it into the multi-dimensional cubes in data warehouse. So with that multi-dimensional cubes, we can process that OLAP operations. So once you have to perform the OLAP operations, so then apply the data mining algorithms. So classification algorithms, decision support algorithms. So these are the classification algorithms and data mining various algorithms you have to use in data mining. So in the completely in the third unit, we have to discuss with that what are the classification. What is the decision tree indexing and classification alternative techniques? What are the algorithms you have to use? Bayes theorem, Bayesian classification, Bayesian belief networks. So these are like classification algorithms you have to use. Then you have to use the association analysis. So mainly here in the data mining, you can do mainly with that three types of analysis you can do. One is the first one is the classification, and the second one is the association analysis. Third one is the cluster analysis. So in the classification technique, various techniques we have to use, but whereas in association analysis, FP growth algorithm, generation frequent item sets we have to use. That is the association analysis. So in this association analysis, where you have to use, for example, you have to take the DMART. So in that DMART, most frequent items you have to selling that time, those all products you have to represent it as one box. So customers easy to pick that items easily you can pick and easily they have to purchase. So based on that reason, they have to use this algorithm. This is the association analysis. Similar manner, most frequent items, that means in the name of computers, most frequent words we have to typing on Google search, that will be considered as an association analysis. That is simply call it as association analysis. Here we can use the different types of algorithms. FP growth algorithm. Mainly we have to use this algorithm to find the frequent item sets. Last one is you have to discuss with that cluster analysis. So various types of clusters you have to use. K-means cluster and the K-means algorithm is very important next point of view. DB scan approach algorithm. So here mainly in cluster analysis you have to use the two algorithms. So one is the K-means algorithm and second one is the DB scan algorithm. So these are the two algorithms you have to use in cluster analysis. This cluster analysis you mainly have to use in data centers. So all over the world we have the different data centers. So one a particular region data centers comes under the one cluster, and similarly we can represent the other set of data centers. We have to define as another cluster. So you have to, by average, you have to find out in this cluster analysis. Okay. So here up to now you have to complete the 2 units. So before discussing about the third unit, you know about the data warehousing. That is very important. but in your syllabus you don't have. Without knowing the data warehouse, how to retrieving. So the data pre-processing techniques easily you can understand. But whenever you have to applying the data mining techniques, so you know about the multi-dimensional cubes, what type of dimensionalities you have to use: one-dimensional cuboid, two-dimensional cuboid, three-dimensional and four-dimensional, n-dimensional cuboids you have to use, and what are the operations you have to perform. These all things you have to discuss in that data warehouse. That data warehouse concept don't have in your syllabus. So once you have to revise that one, once you have to complete it, then that one, then you start the third unit. That is the classification techniques. What are the basic concepts of the classification? See here, so every concept you have to cover in unit 1 and unit 2. Now you have to discuss that data warehouse. See here, data warehouse basic concepts already in last class we have to complete it, and how you can define the data cube and what are the operations you have to perform on OLA. And data warehouse design and usage, data warehouse implementation, generalization of the attribute-oriented index, AOI, simply call it as. So these are the concepts you have to discuss it in data warehousing and value. See here, this is the data warehouse. Generally, you have to, whenever you want to implement the data warehouse, it is subject-oriented and integrated, time-variant, non-volatile. So based on these four concepts, they have to implement the data warehouse. And what is the difference between the OLTP and OLAP? OLTP mainly you have to use it in banking sectors. You have to use this OLTP. But whereas here in data mining techniques, whenever you have to use that time, you have to use the OLAP. So that is simply online analytical process. So that is OLTP means simply you know that is the online transaction process.
New class, time ఎంత సార్?
టైమా 9.
So here OLTP and OLAP, mainly in the OLTP users are you have to use the clerks, IT professionals. For example, a little bit know that the information about the transaction processing, those people are using that OLTP, like banking employees who are working under the bank transactions. That is comes under the clerks and IT professionals. Those are the users you have to use working on OLTP. But whereas in OLAP, you know about the complete in detail about that process. Those people only were using this OLAP. That is knowledge workers. And discuss with that function. OLTP day-to-day operations mainly we have to perform. But whereas here in OLAP, functioning mainly decision support. He will be take the, he's the knowledge worker. He know the everything. He will be take the decision support. And database design. So mainly this OLTP application oriented. For example, banking database we have to use, that is the application oriented. But whereas in OLAP, it is subject oriented. The subject oriented, time variant, based on that. So here you can use mainly it is completely based on that subject oriented, time oriented, and non-volatile. So it is completely related to the words. It is the subject related words you have to. So based on that, you have to design that database. But whereas in here in OLTP, the database design in the based on application work. So transactions, so whenever you want to perform, so customer database table, you have to create it. Similar way, transaction table you have to create. So like that way, so application related only databases are you have to define. But whereas here, it is completely depending on subject. So the analysis of that particular concept. And OLTP data, what type of data you have to use OLTP? That is the current up-to-date details, flat, relational, isolated. Whereas in OLTP, historical data and previously what you have to perform and what is the analysis of the particular data, what are the data you are using. It is the summarized data, simply call it as multidimensional and integrated. So consolidated information you have to represent it with the OLTP. So here usage, that is the repetitive and ad hoc. So this type of usage, that means number of who are the banking employees, daily you can do the transaction similar manner, that is the repeat. But whereas in OLTP, based on that usage, the ad hoc manner you have to use. Access, who are access that one? OLTP transactions, read and write, index based on primary key. So, but whereas in Axis, a lot of scans, whenever you open the particular database, so authorization very important. That is a lot of scans you have to apply it here. Whenever you want to access the OLTP. Unit of work in OLTP is a simple transaction. If the transaction is completed, commit the database. Otherwise, roll back. And OLTP is a complex query here we can use. How many records are accessed? In OLTP, maximum 10 records you have to tense. But whereas in OLTP, millions of records you can access. Why? Because you can analyze all the data. What type of users? So in OLTP, generally thousands, only bank employees or that related people only have to you use that OLTP. Thousands of people they have to use, but OLTP you have to use only few people. They who know about that concept, only those people who are working on. That is the hundreds of people only. That is the knowledgeable workers. And DB size, database size, maximum 100 MB or 1 GB. So here the database size is very less. But in OLTP, the database is huge databases you have to consider here. 100 GB to 1 terabytes. And the metrics of this OLTP and OLTP is transaction throughput, query throughput. Based on the query, then you have to getting the output. That is the responses you have to get. This is the differences between the OLTP and OL. So separate the data warehouse. Because of why databases you have to separate it with the data warehouse. All the databases have the inconsistent data. That's the reason after data pre-processing, the data you have to all the data you have to arrange it into the multi-dimensional queue and defined as a data warehouse. That inconsistent data you have to convert it into consistent data. Missing fields, data consolidation, data quality, not at all good at the databases. But whenever you have to present it as a data warehouse, the data quality is improved a lot. Nearly 98% of the data is 98 or 99% of the data is are inconsistent. It is a consistent. So here, this is the data warehouse multi-thread architecture. This is the once you have to see this architecture, easily you can understand what is the data mining, what is the data warehouse, what is the data preprocessing. So these all are related to the data warehouses. You know that these all are, so this is the data warehouses. So that means it's a collection of all over the world. You have the number of databases. All you have to call it as data sources. So from that data sources, you can extract the information, and that data you have to store into the database. So here you can perform the data pre-processing. Here you can perform the data pre-processing. So once after this is the inconsistent data, this data you have to convert it into consistent. This is the you have to represent it in multi-dimensional cube, that is the database. So that data you have to store into the data marts. Yeah. And whatever the metadata you have to previously what type of data already the data is available, you don't want to consider. Always the metadata you have to use the that data is available or not. That all information will be represented in metadata. And you have to monitor and integrator who can use it. Then here, once the data warehouse you have to implement it by using the OLAP server. So that we have to do the OLAP operations. So what you asking by the data mining concept, that is, for example, a particular keyword you have to type. Based on that keyword, you have to require the query reports. So that is the analysis you can do with the OLAP server. Finally, you can say what the word you have to type. Based on that reports you have to send into that front-end tools. This is simply called as this is the overall architecture of the multi-tier architecture of the database. Yeah. So what are the models? So just now we have to discuss that is the enterprise warehouse, data mart to storing the information, data virtual warehouse, ETL, extraction, transformation, loading. So that is simply in data pre-processing. Metadata repository. Top of the diagram shows that metadata. Defining the data warehouse objects, and it stores the structure of the data warehouse. Schemas, views, dimensions, hierarchies, there are data definitions, data mart locations, and contents, that all information have consisting in metadata. So now you have to see the multi-dimensional data model. So this is the data model you have to represent, that is the item names and its brands and time, how much of amount you have to purchase. So dimensional tables and fact tables and measures. Fact tables you have to represent it here. See, this diagram will shows that the radius of the kubites. So all the data you have to represent it in a particular data set, that is your zero dimensional kubite. Only two attributes only you have to consider, or one attribute only you have to consider, that is the time, item, location, supplier. That is the only one dimensional kubite. So two items you have, two attributes only you have to consider, that is the two dimension. Three attributes, three dimension. Four attributes, four dimension. N attributes, n dimensional kubites. So this diagram shows that is the lattice of the kubites. So here you have to use the three types of schemas you have to use in data warehouse. Conceptual modeling of the data warehouse. First one is the star schema. The fact table in the middle of the connected to the set of the dimensional tables. Snowflake schema, fact translation. So the refinement of the star schema, where some dimensional hierarchy is normalized into the set of smaller dimensional tables, forming a shape similar to Snowflake. So similar way fact cancellation, multiple fact tables are there. Viewed collection stars and therefore called galaxy schema of the fact cancellation. See these tables you have to represent for the star schema and Snowflake schema and fact cancellation. So this diagram will shows, this is the example for the star schema. This is the sales fact table. So all the table have to primary keys, that is the time key is the primary key for the sales fact table, and item key is the primary key for the item table. Similar way branch key, so branch table, and location table we have to represent it as location key is the fact location table. Location key is the primary key of the location table. Similar way measures. So these all we have to represent. So one primary key we have to use it in another table. So that is represented as star schema. But whereas here Snowflake schema, we have to again subdivide it. For example, item key is the primary key of the item table. In that item table, supplier key is the primary key of the supplier table. That is a Snowflake schema. Similar way, location key is the primary key for the location table. And a similar way, in that location table, city key is the primary key of the city table. So here, like this way, you have to represent in Snowflake. There is a sales fact table. Subtables you have, subgroups you have to represent it in Snowflake schemas. But whereas in fact cancellation, so you have the shifting fact tables and sales fact table. So all together we have to represent it as fact cancellation. So location table, you have to location key is the primary key of the location table, and shipper, that shipper is the another table. In that table, the location key you have to use. So here more than one primary key we have to use it in two different tables. Similar way, shipping fact table also we have to use shipper keys from location to location, dollar spool, cost, unit shipped, item table. So this is the fact cancellation. So we have the relationship one data set to another data sets. So based on that type, we have to divide the schemas. We have to represent it as three types. First one is the star schema, Snowflake schema, and the fact cancellation. So this is the overall concept hierarchy of the dimensions. That is the Europe all together. Region Europe, North America, country Germany, Spain, Canada, Mexico, North America. Cities, we have the number of cities in a particular country. So these all we have to concept to hierarchy of the dimension of the location of the particular product. Data cube measures, mainly we have to three types of measures we have to use here: distributive, algebraic, and holistic. See here, this is the multi-dimensional data cube, 0 dimension, 1 dimension, 2 dimension, drill down. So these are the operations you have to perform on OLAP. Roll up, drill down, slice, dice, pivot, drill across, drill through. So these all operations you have to perform on OLAP. Roll up or drill up. So you have to use this operation for the summarizing the data. drill down or roll down. That is the reverse of the roll up. Simply hierarchy of the data in a roll up, whereas here summaries of the data, high level summary to lower level summary. Detailed data you have to represent it here. Size and dice, that is the project and select. So you know the in relational databases you can projection and as well as selection. Select star from EMP. Pi symbol you have to use it for the projection selection. Row symbol you have to use it for the selection. So that is the slice and dice. The pivot, reorient the cube and visualization 3D series of two planes. Deal across involving the across the more than one fact table. Drill through the bottom level of the cube to its back and relational tables. See this diagram shows that is the OLAP operations. How you can OLAP operations. You can perform. Here, this is the Korean add-on models. Browsing data cube, visualizations. See here, you can use whenever you want to create the cube and data warehouse. DMQL language you have data mining query language. Generally, in databases you have to use the structured query language, but whereas here you can use the DMQL data mining query language. So first we will have to define the cube and the sales. That is the cube we want to create, and item, city, year. Sum is you have to represent it as sales in order. Compute the cube sales. Select item, city, year, sum amount from sales. Cube by item, city, year. Need to compute the following groups: paid, product, customers. So here you can use this type of data cube operator. You have to use it here. These all concepts are not in your syllabus. Just understanding purpose, we have to discuss this. Okay. So once you have to up to OLAP operations, that is sufficient for your understanding purpose. We'll continue in next class, the third unit. Thank you.